Hi everyone and welcome back to Taslima Maya Art. Today I'm showing you how to make beautiful white and blue marble trays using Let's Resin's Magic Pour, some stunning alcohol inks and delicate blue rose vinyl stickers. This is a super easy step-by-step beginner-friendly tutorial that's perfect for anyone getting into eco-resin crafting, whether you're brand new or just looking for your next fun project. You can get a 10% discount from Let's Resin using my code TASRESIN10 or 15% off resiners with Taslima Maya Art. Hi everyone, I just want to show you what I got from the post from the wonderful Let's Resin people, and this is the Magic Pour kit. I cannot wait to use this. I used a couple of different products from other companies which are similar, but I've never used the Magic Pour from Let's Resin. It's non-toxic and odorless and it's fast curing, and let's just get it open. Okay, so let's see what's in here. There's a mould, wonderful. I can't wait to see what mould it is. So we start off with this one. This is the Magic Pour tub, and let's see, it weighs 1 kilogram. Okay, and you mix it up. The powder and water ratio is 3:1 by weight. So I can't wait to see what that's like when I get it mixed up. Some nice pictures on there as well. I really want to try the marbling effect. I've not done that yet, so that's something I want to give a go. Let's see what else is in here. We've got some mixing cups. We always need these, don't we? Brilliant. And we've also got, oh, we've got some moulds in here. Oh, I really wanted this one as well, because I've got a bigger one here. I'll show you that one. So I've got this one, and I've always wanted the smaller, more wider one. So it's much wider than this, and it's not as long as well. So I am definitely going to be trying the marbling technique with this particular mould. What other mould have we got? Let's have a look. Okay, so I'm back. So these are all the different moulds. Isn't that great? So we'll definitely be trying those out. Let's pop them aside. We've got a mixing stick. Fantastic. And we've got some acrylic paints in a number of different colours. So we can try those. And we also have some sanding paper. So that's fantastic. Waterproof, so you can use this with water, which is the best way to sand Magic Pour creations. And that's it. Let's move this aside, just have a look at all of them together. Whoops. Right, okay, so this is all of them together. Pop that down. And the sandpaper and the lovely moulds that we've got here. And that's what we have today from Let's Resin. So we will create something wonderful with all of these. Okay everyone, I'm ready to open up my packet and get mixing. So let's take some of this off. Take that off completely. And let's put some of this in to my silicone mixing cup. Now I'm just going to switch this on a minute and set it to 0. Okay, so it's in fluid ounces. So for those of you who are new to this, you're probably wondering, what is Let's Resin Magic Pour? Well, Let's Resin Magic Pour is a gypsum-based casting powder that's mixed at a 3:1 ratio by weight. There's obviously lots of different brands out there, but it's the first time I'll be using Magic Pour, so it'll be interesting to see how it works. If you're a beginner at casting, you can use the scales to mix it up, 1 part water to 3 parts of the powder, and if you're more experienced, you can usually eyeball the consistency, so it's like a thick pancake mixture. So products like Magic Pour are designed for creating smooth ceramic textures and finishes in art and home decor projects, and they can be coloured with pigments, mica powders, acrylic paint and other additives. It's generally known for its safe, eco-friendly qualities and quick demold time. Now I'm going to do a little experiment today. I'm going to be using alcohol inks and see what happens when I mix it in with a Magic Pour. So it's generally not recommended to add alcohol ink directly to gypsum-based powders, because alcohol inks are designed for non-porous surfaces usually and can react poorly with the moisture in gypsum, potentially leading to a muddy or inconsistent colour or even preventing the gypsum from properly curing. However, having said that, I am going to see what happens if I add minimal alcohol ink and if it works out or not. In the next few craft projects I will be doing on my channel, I'll be trying out other types of colourants as well. If you want to add colourants to your gypsum-based powder or Magic Pour, you can use pigments, dyes and even some water-based paints. So my mix is smooth and ready, and I'm going to be using Let's Resin's alcohol inks blue, sapphire blue and cerulean blue. And remember, I'm only adding a couple of small drops to this much magic pour to see what happens. I want to be able to get a minimal amount of marbling in my white and see if I can achieve that using this method. But next time I'll be using acrylic paints, and I'll also be using other types of mica pigments in future projects. This way we can do a comparison on all the different methods of adding additives to your magic pour and see what happens. So I don't mix it in, I do a few small twirls with my mixing stick so that I can keep that marbled effect. And I can already see some granules of the alcohol ink kind of separating almost, but it's interesting to see what it looks like. So you can see specks there as well going in, and I'm very gently pouring this mixture into my silicone mold for my first tray. Now there's method to my madness. The reason I wanted very subtle colours is because I'm planning on applying vinyl stickers to this tray, and I don't want to detract from the beauty and the colour in the vinyl stickers with too busy or too bright a background, so I needed it understated to begin with. So I'm very gently going to pour the rest of my mixture into the second mould, the circular tray mould there, and I don't think we'll have any left over for the tea light holder. But what I'm going to do is finish pouring and let it sit then for 45 to 50 minutes. But I know I usually get caught up with playing with my kids, so I'll probably end up coming back to it the next day. Saying that, magic pour has a very quick demold time and cure time, so it's far quicker than anything in resin, which makes it really attractive an option. I am beginning to wonder whether this experiment will work, whether we'll get those subtle colours I want. I'm just going to tap it on the sides as well to make sure that there's no trapped bubbles around the edges where they like to hide, and I'll just give it a little wiggle and a jiggle and smack it down a few times to make sure those bubbles are dispersed. And I can already see with my tool there that it's almost started to set very quickly. So you can see the mixture has a very limited working time, around 20 to 25 minutes, so you have to work pretty quickly after mixing. And one thing about magic pour is that it's not water resistant, so it does need to be sealed after curing. And if you're doing larger projects, it's recommended to pour in layers to prevent overheating. Okay, welcome back, and it's the next day, and it's actually dried. It dried within about 40 minutes anyway, but I wanted to be safe and put it out in the sun, and it's ready. So I'm ready to demold them both. So let's start with the bigger one. So yes, this was an experiment, and I had so many people telling me you can't use alcohol inks with any type of product that's gypsum based, and I thought, well, why? What happened? So this was one good way for me to actually find out firsthand and see what would happen. And again, you know, it's all about learning, isn't it? And we never know, we can do something amazing with whatever we create. So I am never one to lose hope on a project. So that's the mould off. It's quite clean. I'll give that a little wipe down with a wet wipe in a moment. And let's see what this looks like on the other side. Wow, look at that. It's actually really pretty. I'm surprised. I am super surprised. It's so subtle, isn't it? Gorgeous and subtle. Just check it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. It's very smooth on this side, but I think I might need to sand a bit on this side. It's, for some reason, it's not completely smooth, which is odd. But the rest of it's perfect. There's very little I need to do to it. The edges are nice. I might sand the edges a tiny bit at the bottom, so they're not so sharp. But again, the sides are perfect. The top is perfect. I really love that. I don't know what you think, but I'm trying to show it to you in the light, but it's really subtle, so I can apply stickers or transfers or temporary tattoos to this, or UV DTF stickers. I can apply anything to this and it'll still show up because the background isn't too, you know, complicated or dark or any of the other issues you might have when adding those type of things. So I'm really happy with it. I actually think I did want a bit more marbling originally, but I actually think this is pretty despite what I wanted, and we can give that another go anyway. So yes, you can use alcohol inks for this lovely subtle effect. Now on to the next one. So I didn't fill this up all the way to the top. I actually ran out of my magic pour from Let's Resin, so I didn't really calculate how much I needed for both of these molds correctly, but nevertheless it's almost to the top. It's only a couple of mil off, so I'm happy to demold it and see what it looks like. I do want to be gentle. I don't want to snap anything like I did with my seahorse resin project recently. I didn't realise how thin that was, but these are quite a lot thicker. So let's see if this one will come off. Oh, okay. Yeah, the same effect as well. It's super subtle, but it's so pretty, isn't it? I mean, you could call that marbling. I guess it is to an extent, but it's very, very subtle with alcohol inks. I almost put resin pigments into this, but I think alcohol inks, actually, if you want this particular really pretty look, use alcohol inks in moderation, and you will have something as stunning as these. I really like them. And I am glad I tried this experiment, but remember, it may not work for everyone, so be cautious. I checked on Google and it said don't add them on some sites, but other sites were like it's fine, so I wasn't sure. But yeah, I think they worked fine, and they're really pretty. So what should we do with them next? So I want to show you some beautiful stickers. Look at those. That doesn't quite go, does it? That goes quite well, but I'm not entirely sure if I want that colour. And then we've got the next one, which is purple. It also goes with the blue, but I'm not sure I like that yet. And then the pink. Nope, that does not go. And then finally the blue, and that is perfect, isn't it? So this is an option of many of what to put into here, and I really love these. I've not used them before, so again, I've recently purchased these, but I think they're beautiful. They're from Temu, and I think they would look stunning in these two dishes. Now, I would probably have to either put it this way or this way and combine them together so they look right. Or maybe cut them a little bit so we could do it that way and join the seam, or we could find something completely different to put on there. So guys, it's time to put some embellishment on, and I made a decision. I did go through the usual rigmarole of looking at all different options. So there were these beautiful holographic butterflies I've got. This is a slightly different colour to the other ones I used previously, and I thought they would look quite pretty, but then I thought no, it doesn't quite go with the background. And I've also got this, which is a UV DTF sticker, and I thought that would go quite nicely as well. The problem with that was it's a lot going on and you would lose the beauty of the background. So although they're beautiful, I wasn't sure, and I went through different types of stickers and even looked at some temporary tattoos I have. There's lots of different temporary tattoos, but the size was a bit of an issue. I really like that one, but it's way too big. And then we've got the fox, doesn't quite go in terms of colours, and a peacock, that would be nice on a tray. So I decided not to use any of those, okay? So what I was going to do then, I made a decision, and I thought the best bet is actually my original idea, and it's this. So I've cut it out. Now this was a tricky bit, so I did it off camera. So I placed it over the top, drew a line around the edge, and then cut this out so it fits perfectly inside this, as you can see. But the problem I had was it wasn't long enough, so I needed to cut the other half of it out so that it would match, and that was a little bit tricky. I placed it across the top and I drew a line around some of the flowers, cut some of them out. So I'm going to line it like this. Now what you'll notice is that I'm going to cut this out for you to show you the very light yellow line I've drawn around it. I'm going to cut this out and then fit it in. Now it doesn't matter on this side what the pattern looks like, but in the middle I had to join the seam, and that was a really, really tricky part. There we go. Right, so I'm going to show you how these two fit it together. So that side goes in there, and a jigsaw puzzle here with the two pieces fits there, and you can't really see a seam, can you? Well, I hope you can't. Once that's flattened down, you shouldn't be able to see much of a seam, and it blends in nicely. It's time to apply these now. Generally speaking, vinyl stickers adhere better to non-porous surfaces, so I'm going to apply a thin layer of Let's Resin UV resin and cure that under my UV light before I apply my stickers. Make sure it's dust free and there's nothing in there at all that shouldn't be. And I've got this bit off. Be very gentle. I take the backing off, perfect. Now I have to try and align this in a way without putting my fingerprints on it. It's trickier than it looks. It's actually sticking to my fingers at the moment. Okay, and we just get our little tool and we will, oops, I better pull off that. There's nail polish on there. So I cut the nail polish off, make sure there's no nail polish stuck to it, and then you can use your little scraper to try and get all the bubbles out. And this is a nice soft one, so I'm just putting that down. I'm just having a look at it from the side, and then we've got to do the other half. So I really like to feel it with my hands and make sure there's nothing on there that shouldn't be. We're going to get the other half and we're going to pop that in there, same technique. Okay, so okay folks, so I put down a layer of UV resin from Let's Resin just to coat these. Okay, so I don't know if you can see the reflection there, so it's a very thin layer, and I've cured that under my UV lamp. I've attached this sticker already. I'm going to attach this one in a moment, and I've got this little one I cut out for the smaller dish. So I'm going to take the backing off again, try not to get my nail polish all over it, and just pop it down maybe up there because there's less pattern up there. So I'm going to pop that down in the middle. I did cut around the flowers and did my best with that, so let's do that and then get my I'm just finishing that one off. Okay, quite happy with that. So I'm going to make sure it's definitely rubbed down my fingers. Perfect, and that one as well, definitely rubbed down. And let's take the backing of this one and attach that one in a moment. It has to be a non-porous, surface so you put these stickers down onto. So now it's on to the final stage. One more top layer of UV resin goes on, and I'm just tilting it around so I get an even coverage and making sure it goes on all around the edges and up the sides there in the well, so it's fully covered. And once I pop the bubbles and it's all leveled out, I'll pop it under my Let's Resin UV lamp and get it sorted. I've got to say, I'm having so much fun creating these beautiful pieces. What do you think? Okay guys, so here are the finished results, and I love them, So look at this, and what I've done is I've added another layer of UV resin on top and cured that under my UV lamp from Let's Resin, and it's stunning. Look, it's gorgeous. Look at the shine on that, and look at the flowers. You can't even tell that there's a seam there at all. It looks perfect together, doesn't it? And I'm going to put the finishing touches on this gorgeous tray. I love the size. Look at the blue in that alcohol ink there. And we've got the back. I'm going to sand the back to finish it off, and I'm going to give it a coat of this Minwax polyacrylic, and simply a top coat, and that will make it waterproof and protect the surface on the back and the sides. Okay, so I've pretty much taken the UV resin right up to the top of there, and I might just coat the top of this with the Minwax as well, so that it's all protected and it's waterproof and it can be used in areas where there's a lot of fluid or water or splashes. And this is the other one I did. Again, I'll do the same finish for that, and I am super pleased with these two. I love the blue in the background. I love how it ties in with the floral patterns, particularly this one. You can see right through that into the background, and it was actually a decal, so it's not a UVDT F sticker as I thought it was. It's a decal. I popped it onto the UV resin finish I had initially, so one layer of UV resin finish, then the decal on top, and then on top of that is another layer of UV resin as well, and that's been cured, so that's perfect. Absolutely love this. It's gorgeous, stunning, and the reflection is stunning on it as well. And look at that, I love it with the background. It's so subtle and so pretty. So let me know what you guys think of these two. I'll take some final shots, and I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Bye for now.
I met him on a sunny day in late July, and everything turned upside down. I almost lost track of time as weeks went by. I couldn't get him off my mind. I told him I want that great love, like standing in the middle of a bonfire. You don't know how you got there, but you hold tight, knowing that you can't get burned. Just tell me how we lost track of everything but each other. I honestly don't know. And tell me how we messed up, drifting away from each other. Didn't wanna let you go. Cause we wanted different things, and I have to deal with it, but it's not easy. So tell me how to let go, cause you really seem to know how to carry on your own. Ever since I got a good look in his eyes, I just knew that he was special. He said he wanted to take it slow, but I couldn't help that I wanted to take it to the next level. Cause I wanted that great love, like standing in the middle of a bonfire. You don't know how you got there, but you hold.
Oh, and before I go, I host a weekly collaboration called the Creative Art Collective every single Saturday at 6 PM UK and 1 PM EST. Do join us in the lineup to ask any questions of the artists involved. And if you'd like to be a featured guest artist with us, please just get in touch with any one of us. Up next will be Let's Pour with Patty. Hope to see you in the live chat, but if you miss it, you can catch the replays. Bye for now.